Coach, can you talk about the discipline it takes to play cornerback for Don Brown and the man all the time, and how Brandon Watson's been playing?
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline to play cornerback in this system because there's so much man-to-man coverage. Also takes great athleticism to be able to play man-to-man coverage in the secondary. There's really no plays off. Plus when they recognize that it's run, they got to get involved in the run. And it's easier for a player when they know where they're going as opposed to a player that doesn't know where their opponent is going. So comparing wide receiver to defensive back in terms of that position and the athleticism needed. And then also that translates to the linebacker position. When the linebackers have to play man-to-man as well, not as opposed to just dropping into a zone, much more difficult, and it just takes a high level of discipline and athleticism to play in linebacker and defensive back in our system.
And then Brandon Watson's play so far this year.
Great, outstanding. I think you love the pick six. What a great thing, in a football game for our team. And I think we're tied right now in the country with 4 pick sixes. Levert and Brandon and who got the other pick six? Josh Metellus, yes. 4 pick sixes. So my son Jack loves the pick six.
Who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Over on the left, Larry.
Cesar Ruiz, can you describe his contribution on the field with the offensive line kind of being the center, obviously, and describe his personality off the field?
Cesar's personality is one that everybody enjoys being around. Very enthusiastic every day, a very gung-ho guy. Very popular with the players. Very respectful to the coaches and the staff and professors, personnel. Really good, down-to-earth, genuine, good person. Contributing a lot in the offensive line. The center position is one of leadership and making calls and adjustments. He's been outstanding there. Offensive line played really well again this past game against a team that was leading the country in tackles for loss. And I think we had 1 tackle for loss, a half a yard. 1 sack on a screen where where the back wasn't able to get over to the position where he needed to be. But and then Shea tried to scramble and it ended up being technically a sack. But other than those 2, I just thought it was outstanding that we were able to stay on schedule in the game, avoid the negative plays, the tackle for losses, and the sacks. That was very good for us.
Middle, Matt.
With Dylan out, who is your number 2 quarterback?
We'll see this week. Definitely Brandon and Joe will be competing for that spot.
And is there any thought put into preserving Joe's redshirt option when you're looking at that?
Yeah, I think we're on schedule for that. He's participated in 1 game, so he's eligible to play in 3 more games and still have a red shirt.
With that, do you take into consideration possible postseason games with Joe's red shirt?
Yes. Yes, we do. Interesting question will be, I need to ask this question, is there, I imagine the answer would be that it doesn't matter if it's a 12-game season or a 13 or beyond that, it still counts as 4 games, but be something to be addressed and ask. If there would be, could make the argument that the more games the team plays, that it would be a percentage rather than just a set game amount. I don't know if anybody's thought of that.
So, if you had your way, would you keep Joe's red shirt? Is that the part of the plan you'd like to have him just play the 4 and then preserve that if you don't need to play him more than that?
Yeah, we'd like to have that.
And then back to the offensive.
Don't know if we would be able to, but.
Right. Back to the offensive line in terms of growth and overall, I think we asked after the game, but now that you've had some time to look back after what they did against Michigan State, what they've done against Penn State, the transition or the ascension that Ed Warner's sort of orchestrated here, has that been, do you have anything to compare it to, I suppose, in terms of one year to the next, in terms of growth?
Yeah, I think it's been really good. Been a lot of good factors. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to fact check this. I heard this on ESPN that I think we're the only team in the country who's had a back rush for 100 yards for 7 straight weeks. Again, that was a ESPN comment. I think I heard it the right way. Deserves Karan Higdon deserves a lot of credit there. He is really running the ball hard and well, and he's getting hit too and not fumbling the ball. It's and he's taking a lot of, the hit where you don't see the defender, where the defender's retracing, or he's coming at an angle where the back can't see the defender. Had a couple in this last ball game that were, I can think of 5. It looked like one time he got his face mask grabbed and torqued and was able to hang on to the ball. One time he got really hit hard from a blind side defender coming at a non-aggressive angle from behind them, and the kind of plays that usually high percentage of coughing up the ball, and he hasn't. It's been really good, but an offensive line is, they're playing consistent, and they're playing well, and a few missed assignments here and there, but for the most part, not many at all. The other thing you'd really compliment the offensive line on, in my opinion, is the play without being penalized. I think there's been 3, maybe 4 penalties all year, maybe 5, maybe 3 procedures and 1 holding penalty, or 4 procedures and 1 holding penalty. But there's no illegal chop blocks. There's no high lows. There's no cutting downfield. There's no ineligible receiver downfield. Playing really good in that regard. Very disciplined football. I think Coach Warner's done a great job of instilling that kind of play in our offensive line.
Front left, Aaron.
Following up on that, we've heard a lot about the offensive line. Obviously, it's improvement in scheme and simplification and things like that. How much of it, the improvement, is that? How much is it Ed Warner and the coaching staff?
Well, it's all together. Each player that's been playing has improved, playing their best football, and they're being very well coached.
With Karan, obviously it's like kind of sees control of that starting running back role throughout the year. In your past seasons, it's kind of been a committee, different guys rotating through. Do you anticipate Karan into the year that he would be the lead back and he would kind of take control, or it wasn't something that, as the year went on, obviously Chris had injuries and stuff like that he kind of sees that?
Yeah, both just him being a really good player and Chris, now coming back, and good to see Chris have a good ball game and get into the end zone and contribute the way he did. Feel like he's back to full speed. True Wilson's also played extremely well. So I've been happy with the backs. Karan the most. He's been he's playing at a really high level. As I said, ball security has been A++, and the yards he's getting after contact are really good. Got a knack, for even taking the short runs and getting them into a positive run. A 2-yard block for a 2-yard run, and he gets it to 4. An ability to break the long one. He's got a real penchant for that, and he did it again in this past game.
Steve.
Devin Bush, we can all see what he does on the field, but you see him in here all week long, what he does as a leader and a practice player and an example. Talk about what you see from your captain.
Just great by tremendous work ethic, got great passion for what he's doing, and resonates with people. It's real. that's good. Good to see a youngster who has a passion for something and has a plan for, you know, for what they're doing. He embodies that.
On the left, Casey.
Overall, how do you think special teams is doing? Obviously, Hart's been lighting up and as the punter. And talk about Quinn Nordine and Jake Moody overall.
I think our special teams has been doing well. This past game, I mean, the two stars were Ben Mason and Tyler Cochran. Ben Mason on the wedge, I mean, he's able to break the wedge. He's able to stay alive on the wedge. He's penetrating and puncturing the wedge, especially in this past game. And then Tyler Cochran is coming from the other side and really cutting the field in half. The way he's running and condensing. Now, there's others that are playing really well, but those two are really a force. It's almost like a pincher move. I mean, with Ben Mason puncturing and Tyler Cochran cutting the field in half. Been very good. Now, probably not quite as good as Rutgers kickoff. Their kickoff coverage is really impressive. One of the best in the nation. Ridiculous statistics in that department. I think 14 or 15 yards a return. I think they're ranked second in the country. But yeah, Will Hart, the kickers specialist, really good. Now Rutgers has a really impressive punter as well, and their specialists are very impressive as there are their special teams. It'd be a good challenge this week.
Tariq's touchdown got called back, but he was out there running routes, blocking. You evaluated how do you think he's looking, and does he look like the old Tariq?
Yeah, he's looking good. Everybody's happy to have him back and playing, and been great for his morale and the rest of the team's morale too to have him back out there playing and practicing.
Larry.
What do you say to your players to avoid having them look ahead to games down the road or college football playoff, all the things that people are talking about?
Well, it just doesn't seem like a very good idea to look ahead, concentrate on the ball game that we have. Take it one game at a time.
Cody.
Did you get a sense of how Rashawn played and how he felt Saturday, and just what does his presence get this team back on the field?
Yeah, the same. I think it was really good for the morale of the team and for Rashawn too. Be back out there. He's a tremendous leader on our team and somebody that everybody has great respect for. And played really well too. Special player.
Back right.
What's allowed Josh Uche to have so much success pass rushing this season?
He's got a real knack to create speed off the edge and then convert that to power when he needs it, or but also has the threat of the speed around the edge, and he's highly determined and motivated. I mean, he is a really special player as well.
You have a question?
I just was curious about Shea. Were you at all surprised how quickly he sort of made that transition and he got here and transferred in December, and players seemed like they gravitated to him right away?
Yeah, it was first thing I noticed is how intense he was in practice, how focused he was, and seeing it day after day. I was not surprised that the improvement was taking place, and just getting comfortable with playing in this system, and all good. It's been all good since the first day he got here. So really good in this pass ball game. Key third down pickups. He's really really given us, our football team, a big lift on those 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 7s. We're doing well with our 3rd down conversions, and that sets up, another set of downs. But that's been huge. Throwing the ball really accurately too. I mean, he's getting completions, taking care of the football great, making the right decisions, sees the field really well. Just all good. It's just been, really good since he first got here, and getting better.
You described some quarterbacks before as tough as a $2 steak, that kind of stuff. How do you evaluate him in terms of his toughness and his, he's got a different kind of level of enthusiasm, I think, on the field.
Yeah, I think all quarterbacks are tough, in my opinion. It's a physically demanding position, but there's no question in my mind. I mean, he brings a level of focus and toughness, mental toughness, a level of intensity to the position that few do. I mean, upper percentile of guys that are able to do that and have the kind of enthusiasm that he does, and energy that he has. He always finds it. But you ask him to do something and he delivers over and over again. It's just a great feeling to have a quarterback like that.
On Rashawn, is he good to go? I mean, is it going to be week to week?
Yeah, well, you saw him play this week, but I don't have an update for this week.
Last Aaron?
Back to Dylan real quick. Did he get hurt on the first run or the second run? Second? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys ruled him out for the rest of the season, or is that going to be?
We'll see. Probably will be.
We have time for a couple more questions. Start here on the right.
Did you agree with the reversal of the targeting call? And is that such a subjective call that we can never expect consistency in it, I guess, because it seems to be called differently every game?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. If we could be able to expect consistency with that call or not.
Did you agree with the overturn on that?
I mean, it looked like a launch, to the head and neck area, which is when the rule was first put in, and that was the thing that they were most, trying to rule out of the game. They were trying to, get out of football, and it had been really progressing in that direction. So like you, I mean, I don't know if we'll have consistency with that call, but the launch and leaving the feet, to the head and neck areas would suggest a foul and what they were really trying to get out of the game of football.
Cody, looking back, what was the process of just getting Shea here like? Was he sold on coming here right away and knowing some of the hoops you would have to jump through? What was that whole process like?
It were just conversations, really. Just to see if it would be a fit for him and for us, and it was, and then it happened.
What made it a good fit on your end?
Oh, he's just when you're around him, a couple conversations,